Welcome. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Irwin, and I would like to welcome you all today to celebrate the union of Erin Suzanne Fenn and Christopher William Horton. Chris and Erin, today you are surrounded by your family and friends, all of whom are gathered to witness your exchange of vows and share in the joy of this occasion. Let this be a statement of what you mean to each other and the commitment of marriage that you will make. And to all of your family and friends, Erin and Chris have invited you all to join them here today because each of you have given something of yourself to their lives. Your friendship and love will always be appreciated. They welcome you here and thank you for sharing this important day with them. At this time, I would now like to invite longtime friend of the couple, Joy Merton, to come forward as she has prepared a reading.
Hi guys. So I'm going to be doing a reading of 2 poems in honor of Erin and Chris. First one is Sonnet 65 from William Shakespeare. Since brass nor stone nor earth nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea, whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays? Oh, fearful meditation, where alack shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Oh, none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright. And my second reading comes from English writer and scholar A.E. Housman. It is no gift I tender, alone is all I can. But do not scorn the lender, man gets no more from man. Oh, mortal man may borrow what mortal man can lend, and 'twill not end tomorrow, though sure enough 'twill end. If death and time are stronger, a love may yet be strong. The world will last for longer, but this will last for long. I love you guys.
Hug her.
I wasn't sure about the water.
Thank you, Joy. I would now like to invite the brothers of the bride, and as of today, the brothers of the groom, Jordan and Alex Ben, to come forward as they too have prepared some readings for the couple.
Hey everybody. Yeah, Alex going first.
Hello. I have a short reading from Maya Angelou. I don't believe an accident of birth makes people sisters or brothers. It makes them siblings, gives them mutuality of parentage. Sisterhood and brotherhood is a condition people have to work at. And, we've been siblings forever, but, every single day, Erin, I see you working, to make us brother and sister. So, and I'm really happy that we're not siblings. To welcome Chris into the family as a brother. Congrats, guys.
How do you follow that? That's another really good reading.
I'll try. I'm falling apart here. This is from Captain Kimberly's Mandolin by Louis de Bernier. Oh my gosh.
Do your best.
Love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots have so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part. Because this is what love is. Love is not breathlessness. It is not excitement. It is not the promulgation of eternal passion. That is just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when being in love has burned away. And this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, And when all the pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two. Congrats, guys.
Thank you, Jordan and Alex. In preparing for today, I spoke with several of Chris and Erin's family and friends, and I talked to Erin and Chris directly about what their relationship means to them, what this day means to them, and what the idea of marriage means to them. As I compiled notes and anecdotes, I was reminded of a book I read last summer about a man who spent the past 20 years studying the lives of trees. There are a few quotes from this book I want to share with you now that stand in testament to the love of Chris and Erin, two nature lovers whose love mimics nature itself. The author tells us, "A pair of true friends is careful right from the outset not to grow overly thick branches in each other's direction. The trees don't want to take anything away from each other." It was unanimous in hearing from Chris and Erin's family and friends that these two are marrying their best friend. A friendship 10 years in the making, and a friendship that is only continuing to grow. One of the things these two shared with me that they love most about one another is that they share the same values. Being with each other has only strengthened their individuality. They do not block each other's light, but rather bask together in the same rays of the sun. Erin's father, Marty, shared a poem with me called "Love One Another" by Khalil Gibran, and the last line expresses this same message. The oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. When I asked Erin and Chris to tell me what they were most proud of in the other, they both spoke of who the person has become in the time they've been together. They have grown up together. Chris's parents, Chris and Betty Ann, describe it as a blossoming. To them, Erin and Chris are two peas in a pod that have grown from friends to best friends and now soulmates. The author continues, "Such partners are often so tightly connected at the roots that they will thrive together and they will struggle together as well." We were having dinner the other night, and without realizing it, Chris stopped his thought mid-sentence. Without missing a beat, Erin responded. She responded to the incomplete thought as if she'd known all along what he was going to say. He was reflecting on their relationship and said something along the lines of, "What if we," to which she immediately responded, "Yeah, that would suck." They both laughed, and neither of them realized the delicate nuance and intricacy of the exchange that had taken place while I sat there trying to follow along. Over the past 10 years, these two have beautifully and seamlessly woven their roots together, and in doing so, have not lost themselves in one another, but rather in each other found more strength in their own being. Their journey has not always been an easy one, and they have worked hard to get to where they are today. The author writes, "The process of learning stability is triggered by painful micro tears that occur when the trees bend way over in the wind, first in one direction and then the other. Wherever it hurts, that's where the tree must strengthen its support structure, and this takes a whole lot of energy. Today is not the beginning for these two. Today is a milestone. Sure, they've had their fair share of micro tears along the way, but in those moments, they've only strengthened their love. This is a celebration of what has been and a transition into what will be. As in the case of trees, being aged doesn't mean being weak or bowed or fragile. Quite the opposite. It means being full of energy, highly productive. Marriage is not a keystone, but a capstone. The culmination of 10 years of hard work and the hope and the promise for many, many more. And as we stand here today, it's important to remember what both Erin and Chris have always known. A tree is not a forest. A tree is at the mercy of wind and weather. But together, many trees create an ecosystem that moderate extremes of heat and cold, store a great deal of water, and generate a great deal of humidity. A tree can be only as strong as the forest that surrounds it. All of you here today are that forest for Chris and Erin. You are a part of what make Erin and Chris's relationship so strong, and they are a part of what make you so strong as well. In a forest, even sick individuals are supported and nourished until they recover, because the trees know that next time, perhaps it will be the other way around. Erin and Chris have always known this, and accordingly, they have always given of themselves and their resources for the good of the group. It's who they are, and it's what makes us all so lucky to have them in our lives. So Erin and Chris, as you go forth today, please remember to cherish one another, making each other's happiness a priority in your lives while never sacrificing the most beautiful and sacred parts of yourself. Please remember how very loved you are and that you're never alone. And finally, please remember to laugh and take pictures along the way. So I would like to transition now to talk about some of the symbols of today's ceremony. As I mentioned before, I had a lot of help in preparing the content of today's ceremony from those closest to Erin and Chris. And that's what makes this so special. It was Erin's father, Marty, who wrote, "A wedding ceremony is filled with symbols, the sources of which are varied, one's imagination, religion, personal code of ethics, family traditions, popular culture, or even the law. But regardless of their source, these symbols add meaning and context to the commitment being made. This ceremony is no different. There is the symbolism of having a friend oversee the vows, of having their parents accompany them down the aisle, of the cup of wine that will be shared, of the ring that will be exchanged, the glasses that will be broken, or the huppah they are standing under now. This huppah was made especially for Erin and Chris by Erin's mother, Diane. The huppah is traditionally part of a Jewish wedding, and as Erin's father describes it, it is said to represent a home, in particular a home that is open on all sides, in order to welcome one's family and friends inside. Sometimes it's said that this home is initially unfurnished, to remind everyone that a home is about the people inside, not the belongings. The fact that Erin's mom created this huppah herself is also symbolic of the home that Erin and Chris's parents made for them, which allowed for them to grow into the people they are now and forge the paths that led them to where they are today. Another symbol that Chris and Erin have chosen to include today is the wine ceremony. Many of you know the family's good friend, Jim Wilbat, who is a glass artist who lives in Deerfield. Jim has made the glass Erin and Chris will drink from now, as well as the glasses they will break at the end. Erin and Chris, please pour the wine for one another and take turns drinking from your shared glass as I read the dedication now. As you have shared this cup of wine, so may you share your lives. May all the sweetness that it holds for you be that much sweeter because you have tasted it together. May you find life's joys heightened, its bitterness sweetened, and all of life enriched by a constant love. As you share the wine from this cup, so may you share your lives. As of this moment, you belong to the same current which will carry you to the highest peaks of life. May this bond hold forever true. Please share this cup of wine one last time as an acknowledgement of the new bond between you as life partners, as soulmates, and this evening as husband and wife. Chris and Erin will now declare their intention to marry one another today. Chris, do you take Erin, joining together today as her partner in marriage, offering your friendship and loving care?
I do.
Erin, do you take Chris, joining together today as his partner in marriage, offering your friendship and loving care?
I do.
Erin and Chris will now recite the vows they have prepared for one another. Chris, please repeat after me. I, Chris,
I, Chris,
promise to honor Erin's growth and freedom,
promise to honor Erin's growth and freedom,
as well as my own,
as well as my own,
to cherish and respect her,
to cherish and respect her,
and to love and embrace her
to love and embrace her
in times of challenge,
in times of challenge,
as well as times of joy.
as well as times of joy.
Erin, please repeat after me. I, Erin,
I, Erin,
promise to honor Chris's growth and freedom,
promise to honor Chris's growth and freedom,
as well as my own,
as well as my own,
to cherish and respect him,
to cherish and respect him,
and to love and embrace him
and to love and embrace him
in times of challenge,
in times of challenge,
as well as times of joy.
as well as times of joy.
In the spirit of shared love and in full agreement, you will now confirm your intentions for the well-being of your marriage with the exchanging of rings. Erin and Chris, you may exchange place the rings onto your fingers, please repeat after me. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine.
I am my beloved's, and my beloved's is mine.
Chris and Erin, on behalf of all those present, and by the strength of your own love, I now pronounce you married. May your fulfillment and joy in each other and in yourself increase with every passing year. And may you continue to deepen your life with each other and with all beings. As the final symbol of today's ceremony, Erin and Chris will now conclude by breaking the glass together as a reminder that working through the challenges and celebrating the successes of life is best done together always. Please join me in shouting Mazel Tov as they do so to wish them both congratulations and good luck for all that lies ahead.
We need a board. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.